What's up, film fans, and welcome to the Effigy channel. Today, we're going to be looking at a few different ways you can light your scene just to make it look more cinematic. So let's jump into it right away. All right, so you just seen the little test scene that we had done with Dave acting as our subject today, so a big thank you to Dave. And to start off, we used our fill light. Now, a lot of directors of photography or directors themselves are going to use a key light to start, but in this instance, we wanted to use a fill so that we could control it a little bit more so it didn't spill onto our background. A fill light's main job is to fill in the shadow side of the face of your character or subject. Now, you don't want to blow this out or go too harsh with it because you're not looking to create intense shadows. You're just looking to evenly fill out that dark side of the face. It's really up to your discretion how far you want to take it, but go ahead and play around with it until you find the right detail that you're looking for specifically. In this case, we did take our fill light and we bounced it back towards our actor instead of putting direct light on them. Moving forward, we moved into the key light. Now, the key light is going to be the brightest light on your character's face, pointed at about 45 degrees from the camera. But this, again, is up to artistic expression. You can do what you'd like with that. It's really up to you at the end of the day. Our key light here was placed on a 45-degree angle above the eye line so that we are highlighting a little bit of a Rembrandt triangle between the nose and the eye on the opposite side of Dave here. With this, we have our character outlined. We also flagged off this light so that we didn't get a bunch of spill onto the background because we found that we were able to control it doing this and it looked much better on our subject. Afterwards, we moved in behind Dave to create a rim light using a light about 45 degrees behind him. Now, when using a rim light or something like this, I would suggest putting in a practical. It also fills out the rest of the light in the scene. It gives a reason for your brain to think that all these other lights make sense in the room. So when doing this, feel free to add anything like a lamp, a candle, or something that suits your scene that would fill this. After that, I went in behind Dave and I added a backlight just to kind of highlight the background as if the light was casting onto the background. So illuminate it and cast Dave with a little bit more depth from the background. We would also recommend placing your character in some sort of color that contrasts the background so that they don't blend in too deeply, and it's easier to make a nice image that way. One of my favorite tricks that I like to use, if it makes sense, is atmosphere. If you spray some of this around on set, you'll get a lot more depth out of your image. It creates a really unique atmosphere. And if it's necessary, I would say place it. If you're just throwing it in a scene for no reason, I would say stay away from using it. I mean, if you're in outside, sunlight in the middle of the woods, there's no reason for that to be out there in the middle of the day. Just use it accordingly and you'll find it creates a beautiful image. So I love using atmosphere as a little trick to create depth and highlight my lights just a little bit more in the scene. So as I mentioned in the beginning, you can really play with a lot of these lights. You can really use your backlight as a fill as well. If let's say you're bouncing off something behind them, you'll get spill onto the face, which does count as a fill light. So you can place it accordingly and kind of adjust your settings. You can use any of these lights in any manner on any angle that you so desire. It's really up to you to take your lights and use them as your paintbrush so that you can really create the scene or mood that you're looking for. From my experience, there's no one particular way to light a scene. As you can kind of see here with Dave, we've shown a couple different examples of how different lights create different strategies, moods, and looks that you might be looking for, things that you want to just experiment with. So go ahead and grab your camera and a couple lights and try out these features or show us some of the things that you've created with this. We'd love to see it. If you have any tips for us as well, feel free to leave them in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you found any of this information useful. And if you like movie posters as much as we do, head on over to ilovemovieposters.com. Use the link below to save yourself 10% off your first order. I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for joining us.